relationships, but also about empowering people. And I first learned that lesson as a young boy in Africa. My father worked very hard to set up the Kilimanjaro Christian Medical Center. And one thing my father always insisted on was having local people in charge. And sometimes that didn't go very well with the Americans or Europeans. They said that you need a foreigner with a qualified degree to run the hospital. My father insisted on having Africans in charge. And finally, the hospital got started in 1971 after a lot of perspiration and tears and sweat and blood. And my father got up and gave a speech following Julius Nyerere, who was a very visionary leader of Tanzania. And he said that he had a little prediction to make. And my father said, in 10 years, I predict that all the department heads of this hospital will be from Tanzania. They'll be trained from this country, and they'll be from your country. We're so proud that you've got this hospital started. When we came back to the States, my father passed away from cancer in his mid-40s. So we got the annual report from the hospital in 1981, and all the department heads of the hospital were from Tanzania. And even today, 39 years later, all the department heads of the Kilimanjaro Christian Medical Center are from Tanzania. And I think it's a very important lesson that people can be empowered. Even tonight, as I'm here, our president is talking about deploying more troops or not to Afghanistan. You know, we won't even know that until we get done with the event tonight. But what to me was very frustrating is that in the whole process, in all those 9 meetings, nobody from Afghanistan was consulted. Our politicians met in secrecy behind closed doors, and nobody talked to the shura or the elders of Afghanistan. And I think it's imperative that at least half of that vote should have been done by the leaders of Afghanistan. So I'm hoping that regardless of what decision is made, that in the future that they will consult the people of their own country to determine their own destiny. Well, as you know, 3 cups of tea. As many of you know, it's about relationships. The first cup of tea, you're a stranger. My daughter's here, and she can wrap it. Kuiper, do you want to wrap 3 cups of tea? Or? Probably not. Okay. But second cup of tea, you're a friend. And third cup of tea, your family. For a family, we're prepared to do anything, even die. So when I picked the title in honor of Haji Ali, the village chief. But the original subtitle of the book was a little bit of a contention between the publisher and I. I wanted the subtitle to be One Man's Mission to Promote Peace, One School at a Time. And at Penguin Viking, they want to be One Man's Mission to Fight Terrorism, One School at a Time. So we kind of went around with that for a while. But finally, I conceded. But the book came out, but after a year, we decided to change the subtitle to One Man's Mission to Promote Peace, One School at a Time. And now it's been a New York Times bestseller for 144 weeks in a row. If we just fight terrorism, that's based in fear. But promoting peace is based in hope. And the real enemy that we all face, whether it's in Africa or Afghanistan or here in America, the real enemy is ignorance. And it's ignorance that breeds hatred. And to overcome ignorance, we have to have courage. We have to have compassion. And also, I think it's based in education. Well, how many of you have read 3 cups of tea? I'm going to kind of run through this 3 cups of tea. How many of you read Stones in the Schools? What's that 800 number we're supposed to call? 3 cups of tea. It's also read by several military commanders. I've received hundreds of letters from people serving in the military, and they pretty much reiterate the same thing, that without education, nothing will change in a country like Afghanistan or Pakistan. General David Petraeus is a CENTCOM commander. He sent me an email a year ago, and he said that there were 3 important lessons that he had gleaned from 3 cups of tea that he wanted to impart with his troops. Now, being a military general, he summarized them in 3 bullet points. Number 1, that we need to listen more. Number 2, that we need to have respect. Number 3, that we need to build relationships. So today, 3 cups of tea